Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes Talk Radio Show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your host, Consuelo Mackey. Co-host, Air Force veteran Matt Davidson. Announcers, Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi. U.S. Army veteran and entertainment segment host, Charles Whitehead. U.S. Army veteran and strategies for host segment host, Dr. Kathy Cash. U.S. Army veteran and lifeline for women veterans segment host, Martha Elena Varela. National Director of Faith Services, chaplain, and Veterans in Recovery segment host, Anthony Acampora. And U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarcerated to Success segment host, Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence, America's invisible hero, invisible hero.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Okay, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes, a show that is dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuelo Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those who are disabled and maybe experience homelessness. For those who are new to the show, American Invisible Heroes was established to provide a platform for our veterans to be able to share their experiences, heartfelt stories, resources, and challenges. Now, American Invisible Heroes now has a new format for the show. Each week, we will highlight one of our guests, and they're welcome to have a guest speaker. Board member Taylor Richardson will introduce our co-host and guest for today. Take it away, Taylor.
Yes, ma'am. So we have U.S. Army Reserve veteran Charles Whitehead. He is a board member and co-host for entertainment. And we have Dorsay Dujon, executive director and monthly segment host for Make Music LA.
All right, I'll introduce Dorsay. Dorsay is the founder of Make Music LA, a nonprofit 501c3 organization dedicated to creating educational, cultural, and family inclusive events for all of Los Angeles County annually on June 21st and throughout the year. Dorsay is an art advocate dedicated to engaging and transforming communities of Los Angeles through shared cultural experiences of the visual and performing arts. To ensure all children and their families have an opportunity to participate in ongoing music and art programs to stimulate lifelong learning and creative invention. As a volunteer, what was that? Oh, okay. As a volunteer for the Silver Lake Neighborhood Council, Dorsay created a kite festival and brought in professional kite flyers to demonstrate and teach the art of kite flying. I say Kids LA, she did that for Kids LA. In addition, she presented concerts in the park with music ranging from jazz, classical, folklore, zydeco, and hip hop. Throughout her career as a trade show producer and exposition manager, Dorsay was active on several advisory boards, St. Basil's in Chicago, Hands Across Watts, the International Association for Exhibition Management, for which Dorsay became a certified exposition manager. Dorsay formed a consulting firm, Dorsay Dujon and AMP. Associates with the clients, American Dental Association, National Exhibition Center, Birmingham, England, and the British Tourist Authority. Dorsay produced articles for Gentleman's Quarterly magazine and was a featured presenter / author of education modules communicating with exhibitors, project management for the exhibition industry, and cultural diversity. Organizational leader, and it was also include for the trade show industry. Go ahead, Taylor. You can take it from there.
Dorsay was invited by the National History Museum of Los Angeles County to participate in the Rise Up LA Oral Stories Project exhibition in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Dorsay participated as one of the voices in the Voices from the Women's Movement video conversations. Dorsay's contribution and those 5 other women can be seen and heard as part of the permanent archive of the museum. Organizational memberships: member Make Music Alliance, member Arts for LA Advisory Board, member Support Music Coalition, NAM, member Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, member Arts and Culture Committee, Empowerment Congress, former United Progressive Democratic Delegate for the 53rd Assembly District, member Planning Committee, NC Congress of Neighborhood Secretary, Governing Board, West Adams Neighborhood Council. So Dorsay's guests for today are James Preston Allen. He's a publisher, Random Length News, artist, singer, songwriter, composer, and poet. We also have Gerald Ishibashi, Brittany's Ishibashi's father. And last but not least, Wendy Barnes Farrell. She's a jazz to pop to R&B and gospel singer. Take it away, Dorsay.
Oh my God, that was way too
Ma'am.
much information.
Ma'am.
Wow, phenomenal. We
Yeah, we do have to cut that because that took up more time. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, really.
That's a testament to you, though. You've done a lot, and we want to make
That's
sure that
right.
we
Right.
let everyone
I
know.
want everyone to know that, girlfriend.
Just
You know,
remember,
Put a link up. They can go
do
to
that
it.
too.
But
Hey, don't
that was crazy.
just remember this. Everybody ain't able to have satellite and cable. Now there you go.
Oh, well, thank you. But I mean,
Oh, that's cute.
I was reminded of a few things I did. I was, oh, wow, okay. Thank you, everybody. It's really good to be here today and to have an opportunity to introduce you to several people here who I love and adore, have had long conversations with, have, been out to dinner, had lunch, and just, gone to watch them perform. And I mean, this group of men and this beautiful woman are what we call, I suppose, consummate Renaissance folks. That's what they are, because each one of them comes with such brilliance that it is such a pleasure to be able to talk with them today and share with you. They will share with you about their lives. Our first guest today, James Preston Allen, comes to us from San Pedro, and he is a Renaissance man, being a poet, musician, and author, and publisher of Random Length News. James, please tell us a little bit about yourself, something that we don't know about you.
Well, that's quite an introduction. And thank you, Dorsay. You are a wonderful friend and ally in this adventure of trying to bring culture to, or to excavate culture out of a city that generally doesn't tend to appreciate its own culture, particularly if you're not a Hollywood celebrity. So I have been playing music for, well over 50 years. And it has always been kind of a side gig for me, up until the point in which last year I realized that the poetry and the journalism and the music all became one thing. And a musician that I was introduced to by Wendy Barnes, a very brilliant jazz bassist by the name of Keith Jones. He heard my music and he said, you know, James, have you ever heard of West African griot music? And I said, no, what is this? And he says, the griots are the storytellers. And the thing of the storytelling musician goes back thousands of years in West Africa. And he says, James, you are an American griot.
Mm.
And it all sort of just gelled right there. That you know, the journalism, the poetry, the lyrics, and the music. It was all about the storytelling. And there's a lot of people that do, you know, sort of roots music, and there's a lot of people that do, you know, what they call Americana. But what I'm doing is actually a really deep form of storytelling with music accompaniment. And I think it's something that's really essential. I think it's something that's really missing in most of popular music today, is, you know, and people really want to hear a story. You know, you get that. And when I perform, it's sort of amazing the kind of attention that people have to what I'm doing.
I think that in part it's because they may feel themselves in what you're saying.
Yeah. Can we play the ghosts, the apparitions video right here? That'll explain more than what I can tell you in just a few short words.
Charles, you got that?
There's a video, Ghosts of the Apparitions video.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't have that. I have a music. There's a song, right?
Well, we could play the song. That's
what I was saying. I was sending there was a song that was sent for you that you wanted to play, but it's not a video.
It looks like it's not a video, but I think it is a video.
Well, I played it and it was actually it's a wave file. It's not a MP4.
Oh, well, why don't you see if you can play that for me?
Okay. First of all, can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was born here between cement and steam. Oh, I raised my eyes from the asphalt to the wires. Sit right down here, I'm so raccoon and crying. Oh, I'm looking at the stars tonight. I'm asking why. Oh, oh, oh. Why? My name is Ralph Lynn Baker Jr. Whatever matters, so what? Sometimes I feel like the loneliest guy on earth. Hey, ain't much to look at. Hey, ain't proud or smart, but you know that when I get here, come straight from my heart. Straight from the heart. I was raised here, Wilmington, CA. Know these old gray walls, they just surround me. Boys of the tracks laid down, went from the smoky north, living in the downtown. This beat is fall.
Well, the sound isn't coming very good on that, you know. I think we ought to just cut that out.
Oh, raising my eyes from the asphalt to the wild.
Charles, we can
Right
stop that
down
because
here.
the sound isn't too good.
Oh, you know what? That's Zoom for you. And actually, let me see here. But that's what you were gonna, the video you're talking about, right?
No,
No?
the video was separate. It's a Zoom file, actually, or a YouTube file.
Oh, so I don't think I got that one. You know, I can look for it real quick. Let me just.
It should have been forwarded on the same
let me
email
see.
from Dorsay.
Yeah, there were two.
Let's see. Let me just check real quick because it was. There was what I got from you for him was straight from the heart.
There was two emails that I sent.
Well, I got straight from the heart, and
Mhm.
but
You
this
didn't get the second one?
no.
Because there's two on that. I sent it exactly the way it was sent to me.
Okay, let me see here. Hold on. You know, I have to get this. Give me a second. Just to get logged in, you know, this crazy
James, tell us more about what you're
Mhm.
doing now and some of the phenomenal places that you performed in while we waiting on
Well,
him to
I'm
bring us.
currently working on two different albums at the very same time.
Oh,
Keith Jones has a studio in a building where I used to have my newspaper office, and he's put together a really cool studio with, you know, all of the whistles and bells in it. And I'm currently working on an album called Together We All Rise.
oh, that's beautiful title.
And it's a pretty heavy, you know, album with a lot of like very political messages in it that I'm very proud of the way that's coming out. The other project is work that I wrote back in the 1970s and 80s. And
Wow.
that project has actually been a lot more challenging for me because it was like going back and doing like an archaeological dig on myself and like, you know, sort of dredging up all of these past experiences, you know, romances and, you know, things that, you know, were kept in notebooks that, you know, I had long forgotten about, but that one song, Straight from the Heart, was actually one of the earliest songs that I had written that I felt was worthy of being recorded. And I tell you, every time that I have played that, I've just gotten an amazing response from the audiences because it's such a sort of a down to earth expression of what it means to actually be able to love somebody.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds wonderful.
No, I only got the MP3, so when I download Straight from the Heart, that song is what I got that comes up. Maybe the video was too big to email and it didn't go through.
Okay.
Was it a link? Because I looked, it's not there. Yeah,
Is it on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. If you go to my website.
Taylor, can you go to it for me? Because you fast while he's trying.
If you go to my website, which is jamesprestonallen.com, you will see that if you scroll down just a little bit, there's a YouTube video of that song, and it was that music video was actually got an award at the San Pedro Film Festival. I think it was last year, and I'm very proud of the way that worked.
Random links, is that?
No, just spell my full name as it's on the screen right now, jamesprestonallen.com. And you'll find
Taylor's looking it up. I didn't get it, it's, I got and then when I download that song, this is what pulls up, so.
Yeah.
So it must
Taylor's going to find your website. So, anyway.
I noticed that one of the videos that I watched, the photographs that were taken of the people that you were actually singing about, these amazing faces of people that it appeared as though you were walking by or had met these people in your travels on Pacific Avenue. And it was very moving and extremely touching.
Well, that set of photographs is actually a series that was shot over a number of years of street people by a photographer, a really noted, a good friend and photographer friend of mine by the name of Ray Carafano, and he's given a credit at the end of that video. And those photographs, yes, are the portraits, the studio portraits of like street people that I'm talking about and referring to in that song. And the full title is Apparitions, Ghosts on Pacific Avenue. And it's really, kind of a tale about, the people that you pass by every day that you see, but you never know who they are really, but they're all the familiar faces of the people we see every day.
So I have that video pulled up if you want to show it.
Oh, you do?
The apparitions?
Yeah, let's do that. That'll explain more than I can.
Connie, can you make me a co-host?
Yes, yeah, I'm doing that now. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Just a minute. Here we go.
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit.
Got it?
There we go.
Yes.
Push play.
How long is this, James?
It's about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay, that's a little long. We may have to break it.
Okay, whatever you want to do.
But we'll include it in the link.
No, this is great.
Oh, you see them quite often, standing there in the rain, lost in time, or drenched in this place. The denizens of the street, walking wounded or insane. You only see them when you're passing through. all of them appearing like ghosts out here. The faces on Pacific Avenue, where they're all the familiar faces, strangers we see every day, standing down here where the buses all come to stop, like the old Filipino men in straw hats who used to stand at Ethel's donut shop. All these Croatians, Mexicans, even Salvador, this dry of a walk, all cast out here like immigrants, all along this cement shore, all standing around with their hands in their pockets, so they got nothing left to do. They're just more ghosts out here. The faces on Pacific Avenue, streets of wonder, every tattooed sailor of the world, they all come looking for something like love from a streetwalker or two. Oh, but the old whores just get ugly, wrinkled and fade into this gray harbor night. There's one who looks like Tina Turner, man. Oh, she's just strutting her stuff just for you. Dressed in lavender, lace, and blue. Just one more ghost out here. Their faces on Pacific Avenue. Here comes a long-time Larry, his friend Crazy Frank. There's the pointer and the yellow man too, along with the greats like Shanghai Red or Freddie the Hat, who are either living or dead. You know they're legends for sure. They're just ghosts out here. The faces on Pacific Avenue.
Okay.
That was great.
Well, that gets you a little taste of what that song is about.
Nice.
It's almost like a journalistic musical tour of a part of the great metropolis of Los Angeles that gets ignored.
I think that the fact that you're the publisher of that newspaper has given you, I think, an insight and more down to earth, right in your face knowledge of what's going on around you, and which makes your putting it together with music and the lyrics extremely poignant.
Yeah, it's, the thing is that there are some things that you can write in a newspaper, and there's other things that you can only put, in lyric. And the two forms are sometimes similar in their being able to be authentic, but you have a little more poetic license when you're writing a song, and that's what I like, is to be able to use metaphor and the feeling more than just the words itself, and that is very gratifying, actually. And I've gotten like amazing response on a number of different songs I've written that are tales, authentic tales, from the streets of San Pedro and beyond, that people gravitate towards. I think they're looking for authenticity these days.
Let me ask.
Okay, well,
I just want one more question, Connie, in reference to how you're writing and the audiences that are accepting of it. Music industry has changed greatly. Do you think that this advent of the internet and of people having more control over their work makes it easier for you to produce work like this? That makes sense?
Yeah, I understand the question. It's a good one. And I am really uncertain about that.
well, we're gonna have you to come back and make sure that you explain more, because this is very exciting and your work is amazing.
Well, thank you.
Wendy has to leave, and I believe our next guest has to leave. I'm sorry if I'm having such difficulty with this.
That's okay. Well, I've taken up enough of everyone's time today, and I thank you all.
Let's get Wendy on here real quick, and
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Dorsay. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll just talk about, you want to talk about Wendy real quick? Or
Yeah, talk about it, not quick if she has time. Give her.
yeah, right. I know she got it. So Wendy's a luxurious vocals, her luxurious vocals move effortlessly from jazz to pop to R&B and gospel. It's easy to see why she is one of the most sought after singers around the globe. Wendy has been well received throughout Asia, including Tokyo, Kyoto, Fukuoka, Shanghai. I jacked up some of them words. I know Beijing, Macau, and Thailand. She most recently headlined for Dakar Gori Jazz Festival in Senegal. I'll probably jack that up too. We just gonna let you. We're gonna talk. Because you can tell us all of this stuff as we go. We know you have to run. So let's.
No.
This is Wendy Barnes Farrell. Is it Farrell or Farrell?
Farrell.
Okay.
But when I'm singing, it's just Wendy Barnes. It's shorter, it's more simple. And my husband is not having a problem with that at all. So.
Okay, there it is.
Yes, I'm on my way to the Long Beach Jazz Festival, and I'm in the midst of promoting a show. Well, it's more like a festival. It's the 3rd annual San Pedro Music Festival, and it takes place on September 10th. And we are presenting Pancho Sanchez. We're presenting Tony Terry out of Atlanta. And we have a group, some local groups, the Sports Sisters, who do a tribute to Janis Joplin. Me and my 2 daughters are going to perform. We call it The Law. We haven't performed in over 20 years together on stage because my daughter moved to Atlanta. So that is one of the highlights when I tell people about this. And we have Jazz in Pink, an all-female jazz band. We have John Stanley King out of Palm Desert. He's amazing, plays all styles of music. And we have the foundation that's doing a tribute to the OJs. So we have, my festival is, this is the 3rd annual, and I on purpose called it a music festival and not a jazz festival.
Okay.
And because music is music to me, and I don't think we as musicians label ourselves. I think other people do. And growing up as an artist, I started singing professionally at 16. And the record labels said they didn't know what to do with me because I did so many styles of music. But I was just ahead of my time because now everybody's doing that. I was doing that way back in the day in Chicago, where I grew up. And they said, well, you got to pick a genre. We don't know how to promote you and all of that. And I just kept on doing everything. And that's why I get called on a lot, because depending on what the gig is, I can fulfill it. And so that's one thing I wanted to tell you all about. I'm all about promoting this show because I really want people to come in droves. I want people to come in as families. 10 people or more, you get a discount on your tickets, which are like $25, $35. And we want people to come to celebrate different things like reunions, class reunions, sororities, churches, birthdays, and come together so we can give you a shout out at the festival and let people know who you are, and just give everybody a moment to celebrate, have their commemorative photos on the purple carpet, and just have a great time.
Yeah, and I have your song queued up. You want to just play a couple minutes of it, or just
You can put a smidget of it, and I will let you know when to cut. So
okay.
It's just me and Mahesh Balasuria, who is my pianist on this project, and we did a live recording at the Warner Grand Theater almost during the pandemic time when we couldn't get out and do stuff. And so it's an original song that I wrote. It's called She Dances with the Wind.
He never wanted to love so much. He never yearned for another's touch. Until he met her, there was nowhere that he could lay his trust. Like in a vision, she came to be, stood on the edge of reality. He wants to reach out and take her all the way to ecstasy. She dances with the wind. She plays under the stars both day and night. Her beauty and her magic hold a spell over his life. She's like a fantasy. He hears her whisper softly in his dreams, and I wonder if she'll ever know she's everything he needs.
Okay. Thank you.
He entertained it.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, nice.
That's
You
one of
got a
my
beautiful
favorites.
voice. You go, girl.
Thank you. That's one of my
And that outfit
favorite
was
songs.
Huh?
That's one of my favorite songs. I wrote it on an airplane.
Did you write it?
Yes, I wrote it. And I was on a plane when I was touring with Julio Iglesias, and I wrote it for him. And then at one of the rehearsals, we were, doing a sound check, and he actually, and it's too bad I don't have that recording, he actually sang it. He never recorded it. And so I changed the lyrics to, I guess we'd say third person, because it was for him. Like, I never wanted to love so much. And so I changed it to, he never wanted to, and I made it about a man and this fictitious woman that comes to him in his dreams. So yeah, that's how it got recorded that way.
So these pictures of Julio Iglesias, there's two pictures. So I was, let me see here. Where is it at? Right there.
Yes. So we were touring Spain, and those are my two daughters. The one in the orange dress is Sunny Day, and the other one is the one who moved away to Atlanta. Her name is Amira, but Amira was like 10 or 11 at the time. And what happened is he heard us singing in the dressing room, and he got wind of us, and he says, "Oh my God, I want to put you on the show. Oh, tonight, the band learn everything. We do it tonight." And so we're like, "What?" And so we went shopping to buy a pretty little floral print dress for my then 10-year-old daughter. And we brought it back, and she hated it. It looked like a little girl's dress with the bow in the back, and it was flowy, poofy. And she hated the dress. And so I'm like, "Oh my God, this is beautiful. This dress is gorgeous." She didn't like it. And so she's wearing one of my jackets with some leggings over it because she, you know how kids want to be like a big girl. So she's wearing that. And then my other daughter is wearing another one of my dresses out of my wardrobe. And then Julio, and we sang a song, "You've Got a Friend." And then Julio came down and sang back up for us. He went up where I normally stand, and he sang back up, and that's at the end of the song. When he came down and it made that perfect picture, then he came and just stood there, and I just love that shot.
What a wonderful experience for your daughters too.
It was, and that's why those pictures are going to show at my festival with that backstory, so people can see. Because when we got ready to do this show, Amira said, "Mama, I want to sing at the festival," because she missed both of the other festivals, and my other daughter usually sings. And I said, "You do?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Well, this is fantastic because those pictures are us." And we only knew one song that we knew well together. It's called You've Got a Friend. I said, "Well, you know what we're going to have to sing because we don't have time to rehearse." So we're going to be doing You've Got a Friend. And it's one of my, I just say, I hope I can get through it without crying, because that's going to be a special moment.
Absolutely. Nice.
Those special moments too that your audience feels, you know, when you're feeling it, they feel it too. So that's
yes.
really special.
And Dorsay, thank you. I like I said earlier, I would love to help you with your project as well, because your concept is amazing. I love the concept. It's just, you know, you need some more people on board. So please allow me to do anything I can.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm definitely going to do that.
Yes, yes.
I will be in touch. Thank you so much for being here today. And,
yes.
we will come to the Warner Grant on September 10th.
10th. And Consuelo, I want to just say, am I saying your name right? Consuelo? Yes.
Yes, you are.
Operation Confidence. I want to know more about that and assist with that. I know some people that have nonprofits, as I was mentioning earlier, and that could help. You know, that's what these nonprofits are about. They're a group of people, and there's millions of them, who I just say do-gooders, kind of people that have a vision to make the world a better place. And that's basically what every nonprofit is attempting to do. My nonprofit is called Wendy City Entertainment, Inc., but our main program that we push is called Heal My Family. And we support families that have already been impacted by gun or gang violence and have lost a family member, a loved one. And a lot of people don't put that focus back on that family. You know, they're looking at the incident, what happened, the police are looking for the perpetrator, but the family is suffering. And so one of the main things we would like to help them with is grief counseling, because everybody's talking about mental health, and it's a good reason for that, because a lot of things that we're doing could be eliminated. Excuse me, husband, but that's very loud.
Say hi to Bob for me.
Hi, Bob. Everybody says hi,
Bob.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, so that's what our nonprofit. So we use the festival as a platform to raise money for families, and then we would present money to them that we raise at the festival through a QR code where people could sit right in their seats and actually see the family, hear the story, and make a donation. And we give it directly to the families. So our goal is to service at least 10 families over the next 12 months. That's a big order, but with the help of people that are listening and that are here, I think we can do it. And that's why we do it through music, because music being the universal language draws people in. But once you get them, then I have to ask you to help us. You know, it's like nothing is free.
Absolutely.
Nothing is free. And to put on a festival is costly, and more than anything, it takes a lot of time and effort. A lot of time, and just when you think you've had it all done and finished and you're ready, you find out you have another 100 things that you still need to do. So, that's why my time is short. I would love to spend more time, but that's the reason I have to go and promote the show at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, because this is their last day. And the Gardena Festival is coming up. It's a festival in Carson. I'm at all the festivals for many reasons. One is to promote, but the other reason is to see how other people are doing festivals. Next year it will not be in the Warner Grand. We're doing the last big epic thing there because it's shutting down for renovations in December. And so we really want to get people out there so they could see this beautiful theater, see our beautiful community, and hopefully next year we'll be on the waterfront, where you would still be looking at the water and just enjoying outdoors. But as of now, you'll be in a comfortable environment where you can sit inside and go outside to the food trucks, come back in with your food, enjoy the music, and just be comfortable away from all the hot sun. And indoors is good as well.
That's absolutely wonderful. Tell me something that you said Long Beach, right?
Yes.
That's Charles' stomping ground.
Which Charles?
Me.
Oh, you, Charles. Okay.
Yeah, the only Charles here.
And also, are you still a member of the Long Beach City Council?
I'm a commissioner in Long Beach, and I sit on the Paralyzed Veterans America Long Beach chapter, and I promote music. Actually, I wrote a song called Downtown Long Beach, and I pitched it to the mayor and the city council. And, if you go to YouTube, look up my name, you can check it out. It's
okay.
Charles Whitehead, Downtown Long Beach. It's like 3 versions of it. There's the original version, there's a contest version, and then there's a promotional version. So, Long Beach is, I do a lot in Long Beach. We play at the aquarium 2-3 times a year, and
Well, we could connect on that level, because I love Long Beach, and my daughter, Sunny Day, she lives in Long Beach. So yeah, I love going to Long Beach. It's just right over the bridge. And
yes, So your name is spelled Wendy, not like most women's names are W-E. You're Wendy, and I assume that's why you have Sunny. Do you have a son named Thunder? Or
my other daughter is named Breezy. No, her middle name is Sabrine, and it is spelled Sabreen. And so when she was doing her rapping more, and her last name was Zarif. And so it would just happen to be Breezy, but none of this was planned, not like that,
Right.
I'm from the Windy City, and my company is Windy City Entertainment. So I like to give respect to the Windy City, because it's where I cut my teeth, as they say. I started out singing very young in nightclubs in Chicago, and choirs and churches and the whole nine. So that's where I got to give it up to Chicago, Chi-Town.
Wendy, I'd love to send you an email. First of all, I have to apologize for this technical difficulty. I can't wait to get off of this and talk to Zoom directly. Just pluck me
Yes.
right on off of the screen.
Yes, well, I look forward to that.
Through Dorsay, I would love to send you an email regarding what we're doing, and hopefully you'll be able to put us in touch, or even yourself with hosting some type of event. And I love to share with you my background. We did have a wonderful event before they closed at the sports arena. Charles was part of that, and so was Taylor, on the grounds of the sports arena. So we have a little bit of background on putting big events on. But I would love to have your support in what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
I'll share with you. I'll make sure Dorsay takes us through and introduce us off camera.
Okay, you got it. And Taylor, I didn't get really to meet you, but thank you for being here, Taylor.
No, she's precious. That's my baby girl. She's not from another mother.
She's beautiful. So
yeah,
nice
she's
seeing
wonderful.
you here.
Very accomplished
I
too.
didn't get to hear about everything, but what you're saying, I know my husband probably needs to get on his thing and listen, because I remember learning about what you have to say, some of it, and I know it would interest my husband. He likes everything that's informative, like what you're going to be saying. So I'm gonna see if he's able to do that, or is this going to replay sometime so he can see it later?
Oh yeah, so it'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
And, I'll make sure that you get a copy of it. Maybe if you can go to, well, I'll show you tomorrow. I mean, actually, Dorsay would send it up to you tomorrow.
Okay.
We got quite a few viewers now. Think of how many viewers we got, guys? So far, we have a pretty large audience, thank the Lord, for us to be not knowing what we doing. 150,000.
Really?
So, little videos with the stumbling blocks and the technical difficulties.
That's awesome.
But we're doing it, you know. And it's Dorsay, people like her, and the phenomenal guests that she's bringing on. And Mr. G.I., I'm so sorry we took up so much of your time, but I thank you so much for being patient. But Wendy, I can't wait to talk with you.
Okay, well, I look forward to that.
I know you got to go.
Enjoy this beautiful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Blessings.
Hey, Wendy, say hi to Poncho for me.
Hi, I will.
Yeah.
You should come down and say hi to Poncho yourself.
Yeah, I had him in Newport Beach every year.
Yeah, come on down and talk to him.
Have a great day, Wendy. Thank you again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Gerald, it's your turn.
Gerald.
Well, you know, it is so good to have you here today. And
thank you so much for hanging around too. You got a lot of patience. Are you going to present him?
I have 3 daughters.
Huh?
I have a lot of patience. I have 3 daughters.
Oh yeah, well,
well, you know.
Are you going to give his bio, Dorsay or Charles?
I can do it.
Go ahead.
Your guess.
Gerald is an extraordinary band leader, singer, musician. He is a producer, and he is he's a star maker, you know, in a way. He spots talent early on and supports it. And I love going to see his band because I love horns, and his band has great horn section. And I mean, it's kind of like being at a concert with the wrecking crew. I mean, because there are folks that come in that have played on every record that you can imagine. I know I'm telling the truth, Gerald.
Yeah, you are.
And what he's going to talk about today is not related to music in one sense, but something that's very personal to him. And Gerald, well, it says here that he's Brittany Ishibashi's father, which you can tell that story.
Yeah.
Talk about Brittany.
Yeah, well, actually, it should be Brittany, Brianna, and Brooke.
Yeah.
They're all creatives. Brittany's, you see her on television like a wife, she's in doing a lot of voices for Netflix animated features. She on Grace and Frank, different shows. Her other sister's a great singer actor as well, and she's writing for children's programming for TV. And my baby's on stage in Washington D.C. right now. Just got done the national tour with Into the Woods, and they ended up at the Almondsons, and then she went straight to D.C. with a show called Cambodian Rock Band. So they're all in the arts, and so this conversation is meaningful to me because it's refreshing to see people that emerged from a 3-year pandemic and they're still in the game.
Mhm.
It was a long haul. Yeah, so tip my
Very-
hat to you all.
Well, you too. You too.
But there's a lot of crossover touch points with the folks on this thread. I always thought that in order to be great at something, you have to be of service to master at it. And so as a kid, starting out, I'd read my sister's LPs and I'd get infatuated with the artists. And I said, I'm going to work with these guys. And my friends, of course, said I'm dreaming, but that was my goal is from childhood, wanted to play with all the friends that I saw on what you call albums, vinyl.
Mhm.
And that's driven me quite a bit. And so it's been very rewarding. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what got you even interested in music, and playing in particular.
Well, I started out on cornet trumpet when I was in 4th grade. 8th grade, my dad had a trucking company. I worked for him all summer. And my choice was instead of paying me, he said, you can have, all my friends had motorcycles out in the desert. You can have a motorcycle or an electric guitar and amplifier. Tough decision. I still have that guitar and amp today. And I started playing in a band while I was in the 8th grade. And the guys that recruited me were high school seniors. So I thought I was doing pretty well. And it just swept me away. And it's something about that creative process. And I went to business college, got a business degree, but I used that education to produce concerts for corporate America. And that's what was my business model for many years. Got my kids all through college. And we ended up producing, at times, 3-4 concerts a week when it was the season. And the benefit was I got to work with a lot of my childhood idols. And I've always felt that to learn a craft, be around the greats, see how they walk into the room, see how they speak, see their attitude, their inflection, personalities, and you absorb it. And I think I was doing a show, Taste of Newport, and some of my friends were there from my childhood, my high school years, and we were open. My group was playing as well. I was producing it, and we opened for Kool and the Gang. And we walked off stage, and my friends were smiling. And I said, "What's so funny?" And he said, "You're doing the same thing you did as a kid, just bigger." It was a gift to me because I realized that was the passion. And I just get busy, and like all of us do, we just work and we do the hustle and the blood, sweat, and tears, who I've also worked with. But I realized that it didn't go away. It was the same thing. It's just a different environment. So, yeah.
So in reality, you're not really working because you're doing what you love.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, all my friends say that I get paid to party.
Mhm.
The party is the fun part. What I get paid for is all the work leading up to the gig. The planning, the gear, the production, the rehearsals, but the performance. I have a phrase. I'm writing a book with my daughters. They're all in the arts, and I have a phrase: if you do it for free, that's where you should be. Because if it calls on you, I said early on, part of my responsibility as your father is to help you uncover your vision in life, because we all come here with it implanted in our bosom. And the other side of that equation is to do everything in my power to help you manifest it sooner than later. They chose the arts, they chose creative communication. I didn't want to be a stage dad, but that was what tugged at their hearts. And I think each and every one of us, just the folks on this Zoom call, we all have that vision. We all have that. Some people call it a dream or a purpose, but
Mhm.
it's there. It's latent. And some people are living it, but a lot of people need help unveiling it and putting it out into practice. So
Yes.
that's the journey.
Mhm.
That's great. That's you're right, correct on that. Um, so we talk about the music, but then you want to tell us a little bit about your the military life, right?
I'm not a vet, but when I was a little boy coming up around the same time, I was looking at all these artists. I didn't have any role models.
Mhm.
And I'm a Japanese American. I'm the third generation. My father was born in Washington. My mom was born in California, and didn't have any role models. My white friends, they had the Beatles, the Stones, they had Frank Sinatra, they had Don Drysdale, John Wayne. My black friends, they had Sammy Davis, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, great running back. Uh, James Brown, great soul singer. My Latin friends had Anthony Quinn. They had Ricardo Montalban. Uh, I had no role model that looked like me. And when I was a child, my folks took me to a picnic and they were showing a movie called Go for Broke. And Go for Broke is a Hawaiian term for shoot the works, man. Just put it all out on the table. That's it. Everything's out. And it was a story about a group of Japanese American soldiers born here in America that served in World War II called the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, the 100th Battalion and MIS Military Intelligence Service. You can Google it, Go for Broke or 442nd Regimental Combat Team. They're the most highly decorated unit for its length of service and size in the history of the United States military. You can just put it out on the internet and Google it, and it's there. And I saw the movie, and I saw men who looked like my family. And I driving home, we were in a station wagon, no seat belts. I leaned over the front seat and I asked my mom and dad, was that a real story? And they said, yes, we have family and friends that served. And so I read everything I could about it. I read about the heroic exploits, and it's all documented now that you can access online. Back then, I had to buy a book. And one of their most famous feats is they rescued the Texas Lost Battalion. They were surrounded by German forces. No one could pull them out. It was down to the last moments. And they sent in the 442nd and the 100th, and they rescued them. Everybody else failed. They had more casualties than what they rescued. That's documented in the history books now. And they became my heroes. And at the same time they were serving, they were 18, 19, maybe 20 something years old. They're getting shot up really bad in the European front. At the same time, their moms, their dads, their aunts and uncles, their brothers and sisters were thrown into internment camps unjustly. Into about 110,000 Japanese Americans were in places like my dad's side was in Gila, Arizona. My dad was in Poston. My mom was in Gila. Our other family was in Manzanar. You can Google that up, and it's in the middle of the desert, behind barbed wire, sentries with loaded weapons facing in, and these were families, little kids, grandparents, and while these people were locked up, and they didn't know how long they were going to be in there. They thought maybe number one, they didn't know why. There was no due process, and they were put into these camps, prisons, and some people were in there for 4 years, and they finally got out. And when they came back out, nobody wanted them. Some soldiers from the U.S. Army, Senator Daniel Inouye from Hawaii, they couldn't get a haircut because they looked like the enemy. And so they came back, and they didn't gather at the gate with pitchforks and torches, they got quiet and they went to work. And I really truly believe that they bought me the door. They bought me my chance to get in through the door. And so, and that exemplary military service from those gentlemen, they're my heroes. Anybody will sit and listen to me, I'll tell them. And we've had family. A lot of them are gone now because they're probably all in their 90s. But the service that they delivered for this country, even though their families were behind barbed wire, was an amazing feat. And so every time I got into a hardship, I had a music store as well, and things were tough. And you know this business, right? The entertainment business, it's not the easiest one. Every time you get rejection, or you lose money, or somebody snakes a gig from you, or worse, I would remember, if they can do that, this is a piece of cake. If they can sit in a foxhole when it's colder than heck and their buddies are all getting shot up, and they can come home with dignity, resume life, I can get through what I got to get through. So to me, that service meant so much. And I like to say to veterans, you never know who you influence. Those men didn't know they were influencing this little boy in his dreams, and caused me to persevere because of their action, because of their service. And you never know who's watching. You never know who you affect. And I thanked every one of them I could. Family and friends, strangers, I'd see them. I'd go up there and I'd thank them. And they look at me like, what do you mean? I said, there's so much that I went through that I just use you an example. I said, if you could have got through that at 18 or 19 years old, I can handle a recession. I can handle a gig that didn't turn out well. I can handle, a client, dropping me after many years of labor, and the setbacks. And I know what it's like in the entertainment business. And so we have our share of those disappointments. But I'll be forever grateful. Recently, we put a group together, a 9-piece group, and we did a lot of songs from the baby boomer generation. And I made sure that we did a acknowledgement to our Vietnam vets, because a lot of our friends served, and they weren't really welcomed home the way they should have been, and they weren't thanked. And so we put that into the program. We did 2 tunes. One was "We Got to Get Out of This Place" by Eric Burdon and the Animals. And the other one was "He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother." And we thanked them, because when they served, they really came home and weren't thanked properly.
Yes.
It was an ungrateful welcoming.
Yeah, it was.
So that means a lot to me. And again, there's a monthly breakfast that I go sit in with these guys. And again, they didn't realize that, their example also bolstered my courage when I had tough times. So I thank them. I'm very grateful. But then again, you never know who you influence.
That's true.
Right.
Now I have some pictures.
Yes, I was going to ask you, please show the photographs. There are a couple of the photographs with President Obama and these are the troops.
Here's the,
Yeah,
Let's picture all of them. There were 4,000.
There's more than that, but yeah, they that's my heroes.
It's amazing.
Some from Hawaii. The 100th Battalion was a group out of Hawaii, and they merged with the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. And
Go for broke.
it's called Go for Broke. That was the motto. When they go into battle, go for broke, leave it all on the table, we're going.
So here's the one with the president, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
It's so wonderful that there were at least some of these gentlemen that were able to receive that recognition.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine how difficult it is for veterans to return home and
And be rejected, you know?
it's like an ungrateful
I know,
nation.
like you're the enemy, like you said, you know, it's like they look like the enemy, and which is, you know, you will have a hard time trying to explain that nowadays, especially, you know, it's like
Well, I
everybody
have,
looks like there is no enemy, you know, now the enemy is, we all here, we're a melting pot, so, you
yeah.
know.
Well, I have one friend. He's a real successful attorney, international attorney. He's Japanese American. He was in the Marines, served in Vietnam. When he was in country, he actually got attacked by a fellow soldier because he got mistaken for a Viet Cong soldier. And he said, wait, I'm American. You know, so even into that generation, there was challenges. So, you know, I tip my hat to the service. I mean, that's exemplary actions.
Well, I wish that I could give you a hug, because your presentation was absolutely touching, you know, and what you've gone through and what you've given us and shared with us is such an honor. And we want you to please come back and share more. I mean, you have so much more to share, and especially with your career and what you're doing, and your baby girls. We got to know more about them.
Yeah, check it out. The Sisters Ishibashi. We've got a book coming out. They're always backstage with us. A quick note: they were backstage, so they got very accustomed to it. So they're sitting back there with Nancy Wilson, with the Shirelles. They're sitting back there with Tower Power, Righteous Brothers, and to them, it was just adults playing music.
Wow!
And I'd always say, "Go take a picture with them." And they go, "No, little kids." No. And you know, and then so my eldest went to UCLA. The first year she was there, she took a history of popular music. She comes home one weekend. She says, "Dad, you didn't tell me all those people were famous." I like to shout out to Fanita James. She was an original Blossom. She ended up with Doris Jackson's Shirelles, my favorite group to back up, and it's her birthday today. Fanita James, and keep your eye out. And I'll let Dorsay know. But we also have a project we're working on with a guy named Little Anthony that you might know from Little Anthony and the Imperials. He's a long time. Yeah. So that's coming out in another month.
Nice. You know, go ahead, Connie. Sorry.
That's amazing. And you don't have any videos or what you're doing?
Yeah, we do. I'll get some sometime. I didn't know which way this was going to go. It's a veterans organization, and my only thought was my gratitude I have for the men and women who served on our behalf. And it wasn't about me. I wasn't going to get into, you know, I just wanted to talk about how these guys affected my life.
Well, I sure want to share with you what we're doing and see how you can, you know, continue what you know, sharing anyway what you're doing with them and give us some direction, because I'm out here just like Dorsay, making a difference up. And the sky is the limit for our veterans, but it's so hard, especially, I don't like to say that it's easy, but I'm not a veteran. And to be out here as a woman of color, it has not been easy. And it's been
but then, you're not a veteran too, right? So I mean, it doesn't make,
well, like I said earlier.
Right, he's not a veteran, but
no, I don't mean it like that. It's just
but he's saying, you know, say even though you're not a veteran, you have your place that you can, you know, you have, and you make things happen, you know.
You have to. I mean, you just can't let these ignorant people stop something that's like so important, you know. And sir, the way Operation Confidence got started real quick is that I've seen these guys on Skid Row living out of their wheelchairs. And I mean, like, what was I supposed to do? Just walk by, you know, and not try to make a difference?
It hits home because like I said, the guys from the 442nd and 100th Battalion and MIS, you know, most of them are gone now.
Yeah.
And I had uncles who served in the Korean War, and a couple of them were decorated. One just passed away. He was my dad's very dear friend. He just passed. And now the Vietnam era vets, I mean, they're in their 70s and some in their 80s now.
80s, right. Mhm.
And they shoved it down because when they came back, they weren't greeted really very well
No,
at all.
I heard the stories.
And I think World War II vets came home to a parade and adulation from a country. But
Mhm.
in Korean, the conflict came a little bit later. But the next generation, the baby boomers, went and served, and it wasn't a popular war. And they came back, and the community did not embrace them. And I think that for us, if we're capable, we have to let them know, number one, that we're a grateful community, that we thank them for their service, and that they're welcomed home. I see it in my, friends and family, and then the ones that served since then, it's repeating itself. So I think, for some, the most important thing we have is time. For them to give their time into service, you can't get that back. You can get your money back, you can get your car back, you can get your house back, but you cannot get your time back. And the veterans who put in the time, they deserve whatever we can do to help them.
Yeah.
Right?
You're so right.
Absolutely.
So right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
But
it's
thank you.
and we thank you. And since we're talking music and wars, there's a good movie, a great movie. It's called The Sapphires. If you haven't seen it, look at it, check it out.
Okay.
It's
The Sapphires.
it's about the Aborigines, and it's got a lot of music in there, a lot of music, a lot of you get Martin Luther King.
The Sapphires from Australia?
Yes,
Oh, yes, that's a great movie.
it is. It
Great
is.
movie. And yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. It's got a lot of it got a little love, war, music stuff. I mean, you got Martin Luther King. They have all little cameos for stuff. It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll check it out. Like I said, that one movie when I was a kid changed my life.
Wow.
Go for broke. Go for broke.
yeah.
Well, Gerald, you just have to come back now. I mean, your presentation is so heartwarming, and what you've seen, and we want to learn more about what you're doing. And we got a pretty large audience out here that needs to be inspired. We've got some stories, some guests have come on the show, but just heart-wrenching stories, especially women veterans. That's a whole nother population that is totally overlooked. And what they're going through, especially the senior veterans, I mean, some of them don't even want to talk about it because they have such horrible memories.
Yeah.
And then we have a colleague of ours, she just had to have 2 hip surgeries. Well, 1 hip surgery, she's going to have another. We're talking about Martha Charles, because she had to wear these combat boots and carry these huge bags on her back, and it just messed up her hips,
Yeah. Well, I had a neighbor, Italian American, bit older than me, and he's combat vet in Vietnam. And after we got to be friends, I would drive him to the VA, and I've heard the stories.
Yeah, you hear them all the time.
Terrible. Well, I just want to thank you once again. Dorsay, you have any closing remarks?
Well, I would like to thank everyone, James and Wendy and Gerald, for being here. I love you guys so much. And it's just been, great knowing you and having an opportunity. Gerald and I have had many a conversation, and it's talking about so many things that are relatable to all of us. And he does have great stories that are real stories, and
Right.
right from the heart. Everyone here, it's all about from the heart. So
Yeah, you can feel it.
I absolutely adore you, Gerald. And
Yeah, well, thank you, Dorsay. Thank you. I'm glad we met at NAM. You're truly a gift to the community.
Yes,
And
she is.
bless
Yes,
your heart. Bless your heart.
thank you. Mwah, mwah. Thank you so much.
I wish I could throw a virtual kiss, but I'm behind this craziness with this Zoom. But once again, thank you so much. And we look forward to having you come again, back on again, and keep up the good work.
You too. Best of luck.
Thank you. We need it.
Sending you love and aloha. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Right.
All right.
Bye, Gerald.
So we'll move right along here. We coming on down to the wire here. Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
She had a fun time. You can't leave my girl out. Taylor, where did you go?
I went to Chicago for a few days.
Mhm.
One of the judges that I met during the Miss Wheelchair America pageant, we all just hit it off, and so invited me out for his birthday. And so I was like, let's go. And that's what I did.
Mhm.
Do you have any pictures or any videos?
I have a few pictures that I don't mind showing.
Okay.
Not gonna show
Let
the
me
good
share
picture.
I'll share one good picture with you. Yes, one good. And so that was the night of the party. It
Look at
was
her with them
like a
heels
black
and
tie kind of
fabulous.
thing. Because I don't walk, so I sit pretty.
Yeah, you do.
Are stunning. Absolutely
Thank
Isn't she
you,
just
thank you,
gorgeous?
thank you.
Oh,
Mhm.
beautiful.
That's why I said she's
Thank
not gonna
you.
show the good pictures.
I'm not gonna show. Let me see if I can show some other ones. Hold on.
That's a beautiful picture.
Hmm?
And I stayed at a beautiful hotel, and everyone was helpful. It is well, from my experience where I was wheelchair accessible. Everyone was willing to lend a hand.
Oh, wonderful.
Even getting on the freeway, even getting on the plane was a smoother ride than I've had previously.
Are you in the Gold Coast? Where are you?
She was in
I'm in
Chicago.
Palmdale, but I went to Chicago for a bit. Let me
No, I
go.
lived there, so that's why I was asking. I was looking at the photographs, and I go, that's Michigan Avenue, right there.
Say it again.
That was Michigan Avenue.
Yes.
Do I
So
say
this
more?
is me from Burbank to getting into the plane, and my wheelchair was actually small enough to fold up and fit into the cabin. So I didn't have to stow it away and wait and do that
Right.
whole process, because I hate that. I really, that's me. Hi, everybody.
Oh, look at that little happy face.
I love traveling. I love doing it. This was my hotel. I don't know if this is a video or not, probably not. But I stayed at the Peninsula.
Okay.
Right.
Big
And
baller.
it was beautiful.
Shot
And
that.
I was
Gorgeous. How was the weather?
It was humid and rained the entire time.
Did it really?
Yeah,
It
that's
rained
the whole
so
nation.
much, and I was like, wow.
That's summer rain.
But I loved it. And it was hot. It was like hot, humid, sticky, gross,
everywhere.
muggy.
Yeah, that's
And
Chicago for you. Well, all
But I
right,
enjoyed
girls.
it. I enjoyed it. I just wanted to share, just because you are physically limited doesn't mean that, you can't do anything. You
That's
just
right.
you just have to find another way to navigate.
I had
But that
no
shouldn't
idea
stop you.
that you did not walk. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
He in Charles and my baby, my
Charles
two.
I knew, but I didn't know about Taylor.
You know,
You're magnificent, Taylor.
let me tell you what happened to me last Sunday. So, I went to go see War at the, to the War concert, right? And just before I went, the caster on my wheelchair broke. You know, I went down somewhere and I was like, oh, one of my front casters broke, and the wheel was not like this. It was literally like
Out to the side, like.
and it was above the ground, but the chair stayed up on 3 wheels, right?
Oh, goodness.
So I was like, you know, in my other chair, I'm fighting with to try to get it fixed. You know, I got it fixed so many times. I sat in it, and 2 minutes later, the boat broke again. So the choice was the 3-wheeled chair or the chair with the back that might just, you know, go out. So I took this one. I went to the concert, and my buddy was like, man, I said, man, I'm okay. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna be, you know, doing it. So I went to the concert with that chair, got up the next morning, went to a funeral with that chair, and like the way. And then I left the funeral and I went to my buddy has a wheelchair company. I went over there and got a couple of new casters. So, you know, it's
And
like,
by the way, he drives, so he drove all during this time too, with his buddies.
well, I was driving by well, you know, that's nothing, you know.
Yeah, but you have to load it up and take the chair out. You only had three wheels.
Well, you know, it was 3.5 because the wheel didn't touch the ground. It was sitting, I mean, it was literally sitting about maybe 1.5 inches off of the ground, you know, just the you know, totally 90-degree angle from what it's supposed to be, you know.
Wow.
So, and I took the wheel and I popped it back into place, but it was so wobbly. And when I rode it, it went back up. I said, oh, it's better this way, even just to have it like off the ground, you know.
At least it didn't make you fall. You already had a terrible.
Yeah, well, that was, you know.
Yeah. Well, what you got? We're gonna sign out.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna just show you, you know, since you brought up a dog, I'm gonna show you these 2 tough dogs. You know, we've probably seen this. You know, I can't, a lot of my, those things that you send me, I can't open none of that because I don't have a Facebook account right now. So
that'd be on TikTok.
Well, TikTok, I don't have a TikTok account either.
Well, you got to get one.
Well, you know,
Honey, what you know about TikTok?
yeah. That not there. You go. All right,
about TikTok. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. TikTok.
Now
You don't have a TikTok, Charles? What is your problem?
Now we talking. No, you.
Oh my.
You the one that brought up TikTok.
It's like looking at a movie of everything. I posted it on our Invisible Heroes group. Some of those TikToks, they'll be out there so funny.
Yeah, you hear that? She got Taylor like, I'm shocked. You know.
I don't know why. Why you dating me? I'm still in the know.
Yeah, we see. You know, I'm like TikTok. You know, all right. Well, anyways, you know, I'm gonna show you this little
okay, because we're gonna wind on down. Now we had a wonderful day, thanks to Dorsay. Dorsay, I can just give you a virtual hug, one for this.
You can do it without seeing her, you know.
This is my technical difficulty.
Invisible hug. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you guys seen this one before, I'm sure.
Do something. You do something. Square up. You didn't do nothing. Neither did you. Boss a move. Say something. You say something. Shut your ass up. I'm right here. Well, I've been here. Well, pull up then. I'll sock you out. Well, then bust a square sock up. Pull up sock up.
Funny, you're so silly.
I saw one yesterday that I have to send you, Charles, because it was so cute. This reminded me of that. You'll love this one. I hope I can find it.
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay, Cindy, yeah.
Okay, Taylor, we're closing out now.
Yes, ma'am. Before Ms. Connie closes the show, I would like to encourage our viewers and listeners to visit the Operation Confidence resource page on our website at www.operationconfidence.org for some amazing resources. Also, we would like to inform everyone about Operation Confidence Positive Redirection Team. It's a group of male and female veterans who are mentors having overcome similar challenges and situations transitioning back into mainstream society. To be connected or become a team member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. Again, info at operationconfidence.org. Connie?
Yeah, okay, and as always, we want to remind our viewers and our listeners that the goal for the show is to raise awareness about Operation Confidence's mission, which is to provide stable housing with a wide range of supportive services, including employment opportunities for veterans who may have experienced homelessness. So to get involved with our grassroots efforts, please send us an email at info@operationconfidence.org. That's info@operationconfidence.org. And don't forget to visit our website, www.operationconfidence.org. And we want you please to remember to subscribe to our American Invisible Heroes channel on YouTube. To date, we have over 150,000 views, and it's going up every week. So don't forget to please subscribe to that. And in closing, we want everyone to know that Operation Confident Invisible Heroes is now streaming on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeart, Stitcher, and we have our own Instagram, as well as Operation Confidence Google Pod. So anyway, blog, I don't know what I'm talking about, pod, but anyway, please tune in to us with us next week. And we had some amazing guests. We want to thank Dorsay once again. We're so happy to have you on the team, Dorsay. Girlfriend, she's just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And I look forward to you next month. And maybe I know you're going to have something more exciting for us.
I do have someone exciting for next week.
Oh, how wonderful.
Well, when I come back.
Right. Next month. Let me know when you're available, because you're busy too, girl. Thank you so much. So Charles, we signing out now.
All righty.
Okay.
American Invisible Hero, Invisible Hero,
Okay, bye-bye. Thank
All right.
you. Have a good one.
All right.